Japan, and you can see my predictions right here. I have gone with Scars absolutely making the major. Now, important to note that this region has 3 slots to Atlanta. Scars, I think, showed some really, really good promise over in Copenhagen. They made the playoff stage. They did some decent work, and obviously throughout the regular stage of stage 1, they did a pretty decent job. I think from there, though, the gates do open up significantly, right? You have Varel, North Eption not far behind, and Cyclops, I mean, obviously had a bit of a disaster in stage 1, but you can never really count them out.
Now, remember, of course, it is only the 3 slots for Japan, so as for me, I'm matching you in the sense that I've gone with Scars on top, and then I've got North Eption, hard to see a little bit, but they're by themselves. I don't think that anyone else is probably in that same category. It then is down to CAG and Varel for the last slot for me. Okay. So in terms of the top 4 that I've got for Japan, I think we've actually gone for the same top 4. But I just kind of value North Eption higher than Varel and CAG. I think that what they've been able to show, especially crunch time, they've been really good in LCQs, been really good in the qualification matches. They obviously did perform quite well at the major, probably should have progressed to the playoffs, all things considered. They were a little bit unfortunate that they lost that very last 15th round to Revan. And from there, I think they could have actually got even more experience had they won that. So I rate North Eption. Obviously, we can actually talk about this region ever so slightly because it has actually begun. Closing out, though, we've both got Fnatic down the bottom. They're absolutely not making it. I've gone with Fav down there as well. We've kind of got Fav and Crest swapped a little bit, but it's pretty negligible. I don't think either of them are really in contention. So, yeah, basically, I think down to CAG and Varel, and you think probably down to CAG, Varel as well?
Yeah, I'll give you a chance to bring up the results. We can talk a little bit about the first week. Obviously, the big talking point, though, based on our power rankings, Fnatic right down the bottom, an org which has just struggled for years now, and I don't think their roster at the moment is probably going to be enough to do much in this particular league, which, again, unfortunate when you think of the name Fnatic in Rainbow Six, you think about all the success that they had 4-5 years ago now, but yeah, they have tapered off. I'm not exactly sure what they need to do to get back to those heights, but Japan, obviously, regionally, incredibly competitive, so it could be a long road for them as we bring up the results from the first play day.
So as it has stood at the moment, CAG are atop their group. They've been able to take down both Crest and Fnatic. I don't think there's really any surprises in those results. Still to be played in 5 days' time will be against Scars. That is one to watch. You want to tune in for that one. If CAG beat Scars, they mean business. They're back, baby. But if they lose that, then maybe it's the same old CAG where they're not quite at the very top. From the rest of that group, obviously, Scars. So, I mean, Scars and Cyclops should always be topping that group. I think Crest is an okay team. They obviously did beat Scars, and we can touch on that 7-5. And that might be the only reason why they might finish second. That's a big result. Not sure how that's going to happen. But Scars, to be fair, is the kind of team that every now and then, Gus, they can have a bit of an off night. They can sometimes throw. Unfortunately, that's a common symptom of the APAC region, the old choking and throwing. So they lost that one 7-5. Other than that, I still think Scars and CAG from that group will be contending, obviously, for their slots of the major. From Group B, you've got North Eption, Fab, Exist, and Varel. Certainly a lot weaker, and right now, North Eption running away with it. They obviously took down Fab comfortably, took down Exist comfortably, and they've got their big match against Varel later next week.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing, though, for Varel, right? Not getting any points. Losing to Fav as well is very, very concerning. Exist, in my eyes, perhaps a little bit more forgivable. I mean, I guess both losses actually very disappointing for Varel, especially where I've put them in my power rankings. So I don't know. Obviously, given the 2023 format, we can't give 100% credence to the group stage. There's still plenty of opportunities, and we've seen it time and time again, teams making late runs. We've seen it in multiple regions. I mean, Wolves in EUL, a great example of the run they made back. And we saw it in other places as well. So long way to go, only the first week, but certainly shaping up to be intriguing again.
The other thing to sort of remind everyone about as well, these group stages mean very little. It's basically seeding for the actual knockout stages, and that's when you get to the best of threes. That's when you get to the qualification matches as well for teams that can go to the major, or if they miss out, go to the last chance qualifiers. So as much as it's great to have R6 Esports back the first week or two, it's kind of like a seeding start to the stage, and these games don't mean as much. They're best of ones. I'd still back in Scars, even though they've lost to Crest now in that best of one, to beat them in a best of three later on. I'm not too worried about that result.